Good evening, Super Metroid fans. That's right, we're here on Speedgaming, the flagship station, once again for some more SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid any percent qualifying action. This is qualifier number 3, featuring these amazing runners, Beef Robber, Emmett, Moku, and Fat Scott. My name is the Hockey Towner. I'm joined by the one, the only, Chabo. What's up, Chabo?
Hey, Hockey. Glad to be here. And my first time commentating with you. I'm excited for that.
I am too. I'm embarrassed myself that it took this long, but I'm also fortunate and thankful and grateful that it's finally happening. So, yeah, look, we have a huge, just chock-a-block full race room of 29 entrants that are in this heat number 3, trying to qualify for the SGLIVE any percent tournament. And yeah, we've got some great runners here on the restream.
Yeah, we have BF Robber and Fat Scott both have 46s. Emmett has a 41 and Moku has a 42. But your PB doesn't mean anything about your race performance necessarily, because by definition, your personal best is an outlier of your on-demand performance, which is what matters for a race.
No, for sure, Chabo, for sure. And it looks like the racers have started. Starting here on Series Station. But you're right, it's an interesting fact that, it's a kind of a flash in the pan sort of thing. You kind of try to go by consistent times, average times, what have you. But yeah, PBs are elusive sometimes. But we are going to see a nice mix of both PRKD and old route or KPDR. So it should be very interesting.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how those two can end up converging at the end. We've had some amazing races in the past where runners of similar skill have been running different routes, and it ends up coming out very close in the end.
Yeah, no question about that. So Series Station, not much to it, just damage Ridley. Get damage down by Ridley, faster than shooting him 100 times, make your escape. But a lot of things can go wrong in the escape, can't they, Chavo?
Yeah, there's, you can bonk doors, you can get hit by steam, you can miss wall jumps in the final room. It's always tricky what ends up happening on Series.
A really nice tile boost there from Beefy into this swaying elevator shaft with a 46. Really nice time. Looks like
I think I saw 46, 46, 44, 44.
Very impressive stuff. But heading down to the surface of the planet Zebes in pursuit of that baby Metroid. And yeah, curious. I believe all of these runners do utilize Moonfall, but I guess we'll find out pretty quickly if they do.
I definitely saw a Moonfall in Series from Emmett. I did not. I saw that BF Robber didn't go for it, and I don't know about Moku and Fat Scott.
I wonder if Beefy is one of the last kind of holdouts. Like our good friends Insane Firebat and Sloters 27, refusing to use Moonwalk, but it is a personal preference. It does make certain fights a little bit more challenging.
All right, Moku and Fat Scott both went for the Parlor Moonfall, and BF Robber is doing the climb. So all 4 of them use Moonwalk. All
right. Yeah, the playing field is totally leveled now, Chabo. So yeah, pretty boilerplate as far as Super Metroid vanilla speedrunning goes. Our runners are going to head down here to Retro Brinstar to pick up the first major item of the game, which is the Morph Ball. Allows travel through 1 tile gaps, of course. And also a missile pack. But after that, chat, it's going to get really exciting.
We've had a lot of runners get into superstition about what frame the morph ball freezes on, whether it's yellow or pink.
Oh my gosh.
Emmett had a pink morph ball. The others all had yellow.
Well, I hope that's a harbinger of a really fast time and not necessarily certain doom, because especially with the Fantune first boss routing, Chabo, this could be an incredibly volatile category.
Yeah, Fantune alone is fairly dangerous. We've, had both at marathons and other races, we've had some notable deaths at Fantune, which we never like to see. But even outside of death, just the fight can go wrong very easily. You can turn it into a 3-round, 4-round, or even more. Like at GD2, I'm not sure that anyone's Fantune fight went perfectly.
Oh, that's for sure, Chabo. Those fights can go off the rails so easily. But what's not off the rails is these runners' movement. We see a little bit of just defend climb, a little bit of right side wall jumping from these runners. There's more than one way to get up the climb, but all these runners showing off some really crisp movement as they head to Bomb Terizo, the first mini boss of the game.
It's always interesting in these early rooms how, even if there's one optimal strat, there are a lot of people that will use different ones for consistency's sake or, any number of reasons.
For sure, Chow, for sure. We saw Emmett with a 442 bomb touch, and I believe everyone else was kind of in the mid 4.4s. So really, really hot times here in this early game. But now they got to hopefully avoid the decapitation animation here against Bomb Terizo.
Yeah, of course. Emmett having to do an extra round, but getting through fairly cleanly.
Yeah, I think Beefy's going to make up some time on him here. Same thing with MoQ. Everyone's pretty much clustered together. This is really, really nice so far.
Yeah, Fat Scott not having full missiles, so he'll have to do something to farm up. Chances are he'll just bunk the door at the end of Parlor so that he can set up for a farm. Oh, he didn't bunk, but yeah, hopefully he'll still be able to farm a missile easily.
Yeah, still holding out with just 2 here.
Emmett did have to delay slightly in order to make sure he was full coming out of Terminator.
For sure. And here we see the difference this early in the routing. You saw Beefy just tanking the damage using iframes to get through those pirates, but the runners running Fantune first had to destroy those pirates to preserve their energy for later on.
Fat Scott had a problem, and I don't know if it was by accident, but he took damage from the first pirate while being at full missiles, but then used missiles on some of the later pirates. So he
interesting.
May have issues. He'll have to make sure that. Okay, he's good.
Oh wow, very lucky drop there.
Because if you got small health, I think there might only be 4 enemies that are farmable, and if you got small health or nothing drops from all of them, he would have had to have gone back up the elevator.
That's right. That's right. But early supers mock ball for all of our runners. Super missiles picked up, avoiding the second mini boss of the casual playthrough of this game, which is Spore Spawn. Sorry for you Spore Spawn lovers out there. This is not Spore Spawn RTA. This is any percent. And these runners are competing for a spot in the SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid Any Percent tournament. I believe our runners have to complete 2 qualifiers, so there's going to be 8 total, and this is number 3. So the competition's really starting to heat up.
I think it might even be up to 10 total, because I thought there were 5 this weekend.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. I was thinking of something else. So yeah, 10 total qualifiers. Thank you, Chad.
I think it might have been 8 originally, and then they added 2 more.
Oh, cool. Then I'm not going crazy. At least not about that. Didn't see anybody get up in 2 in Big Pink, but I mean, that's not a run breaker. It's not a reset. So just you like to see it up in 2 every once in a while. But really nice green hill zones here. Now Beefy's got to be careful. Watch that energy. Down
one of our more famous, historic runners, Chronic Sauce. One of his run comments is something like, "I got up into, I no longer have to compete for this category or something.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. So we do see Emmett going up the red tower, using that hero shot, crossing the Hellway. Looks like Beef Robber and Fat Scott, on the other hand, are heading down and will be heading to Crade, while MoQ and Emmett grabbing those first and only power bomb packs for this route.
Yeah, nice. We have an even split. We have 2 and 2 for new route and old route. And we still use the terms new route and old route, despite the fact that I believe we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of new route. Because I think that was August 2014.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Almost here to the 10-year anniversary. So now we have old route and older route, I guess. What a massive paradigm shift that represented in this category.
Yes, it did.
We've got Beefy, we got Fat Scott setting up for their crate fights, but this is the real test. One of the real tests of PRKD here, crossing the moat. Oh,
meanwhile, we have
setup.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have BF. Oh, yep. Oh no!
Emmett's so close. Oh, look at the reaction on the webcam.
I think he had it and just fired the shot too early, and that killed his momentum.
Oh my gosh. That is as close as you can get to a CWJ without making it. But MoQ's across. Very nicely done.
And Fat Scott and BF Robber both having clean Crade quick kills.
Nicely done, picking up their Varia suit. So they will have a more protected Fantoon fight due to that Varia suit and some additional E-tank from high jump boots, I believe. But this is just stripped down hot rod mode for Emmett and MoQ against Fantoon here. Is how Fantoon's flames hit for, what is it, like 40, 30?
I think it's 40.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then I think it's 20 with Varia.
That is a lot of damage. Oh, now this is interesting. Beefy grabbing this frog pocket E-tank.
Yeah, not sure if that's in a standard run or if that's just a race safety, but either way. And so is Fat Scott.
Very nice. But this is it. Hold me, Chavo.
All right, so each of the rounds, they have slow, fast, or mid speeds on their patterns. MoQ gets a mid on first round, and Emmett getting a slow. That's a second mid from MoQ.
Look at this. Oh! So close. Emmett going for the one round. But does get a fast and finishes off Fantoon in 2 rounds. What an amazing fight.
So I think that was slow, fast, and mid slow for our 2 runners so far.
Oh, wow. What a
Yep. And MoQ does get the 2 round, assuming that I didn't miss one.
That is amazing stuff. What an amazing Fantoon fight from both of these runners. Emmett like a maybe single frames away from getting that 1 round Fantoon. I don't know if Emmett was the first to get it, RTA, but I know that he is considered, to have popularized it for sure. Made it viable for a lot of other runners, seeing him do it and main it consistently. But Beefy and Fat Scott are into Upper Norfair, so another big difference between these routes, since they do have to return here for Lower Norfair for Ridley, so it'll be a double dip into Norfair, whereas our PRKD runners, it's only going to be a single trip to Norfair. So after they grab their gravity suits, they're going to be doing the same item collection that we see Beefy and Fat Scott doing.
Yeah, and that is interesting because it's a big part of the time save for new route is the fact that you only go into Norfair once. Since a lot of the individual rooms will be slower, especially in Lower Norfair, because you have less items. You don't have space jump, you don't have plasma.
Dude, those are 2 extremely comfy items in the KPRD route. I should say KPDR.
And it is possible that one of our 2 new route runners, or both, might be running PKRD for safety.
Yeah, that is possible to do crate after Fantoon and possibly picking up that crate tank as a race safety.
Yeah, we
But-
still generally call that new route, even if it's not exactly the same.
For sure, just a little bit safer, maybe some built-in safety items along the way, and just overall a little comfier than doing Ridley second. But I did know, at least in previous any percent tournaments, there was a hybrid route that you did Fantoon first, but you finished with Ridley and also got Plasma and or I should say Space Jump. But it doesn't seem like that's become very popular.
Well, it's unknown how big the time save is for that. The estimate is that it's probably no more than 30 seconds faster than KPDR.
Oh, okay.
But it's possible that it may not even save time at all. Because the only real time save is the section, like, Red Tower through the Norfair elevator that you backtrack through in KPDR, but you don't have to with that hybrid route.
Gotcha. So that might explain its lack of popularity.
Yeah.
But it remains an option. I don't know how viable.
Yeah. It's been the main instance that I remember being used in a race is when Zost was facing off against Z Music.
Oh wow!
After Z Music, got the first 43 with KPDR.
That's wild.
Yeah, since Zost had so much practice with new route, he did Fantoon first, but then did hybrid route. I assume at least to make the race closer.
That's incredible.
Which it was.
Yeah, I'll bet. Those are two names that if you've been around Super Metroid speedrunning, I'm sure you've heard before. And it's my understanding that Zost is competing in this qualifier, so that's really something. Decided to just wake up, crawl out of bed, and qualify. So Spacer pickup here for MoQ and Imit. That's going to be 1/4 of their new route full beam combination.
And we have very close race between our two older outrunners, BF Rubber and Fat Scott. They are only maybe 5 seconds away from each other right now.
For sure, we've got a pair of Alpha Sparks, the first Shine Spark available to these older outrunners, and now they too have to climb the red tower, but aided by that wave beam, allowing their shots to travel through the rippers.
Both getting very nice down grab at the top of red tower. It's a very tough trick, but amazing to see.
That's got to be so precise, such a tight window to execute that trick. So MoQ and Imit will be doing their upper Norfair clean out. So both of them going to be grabbing the high jump boots first, followed by the speed booster and wave beam, and then it's the kid skin gloves have to come off, Chavo. They got to go straight to lower Norfair.
Yes, they do. And neither of them went to grade, so they both are doing PRKD apparently.
I respect it. I definitely respect that. Although I'd respect if they did grade first or grade second as well. No problems there. How could I forget about Ice Beam, Chavo? We did see our older route runners skip that for now, since they will be returning to Norfair. So
one interesting nuance that I didn't see at the time was that both of them, apparently, both Imit and MoQ, fired a super at the green door going to ice on their way down past it, which is interesting because depending on the drops that you get from those Sovas, you might be able to get up to full.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of, you burn one and then you can farm up to full potentially.
Yeah, that's the idea. Rather than potentially being at full and then using one.
That's terrific, because I know resource management is so important for this route, for any type of any percent route, really. But we are going to see probably a little bit different of a Fantoon fight here. Both Fat Scott and Beefy equipped with the wave beam, And in utilization with the charge beam and power bombs, they can use the X Factor special beam attack.
Yeah,
so,
BF Robber has power bombs equipped already, so I think it's a good bet that he's going for X Factor strats. We'll see about Fat Scott. There are plenty of runners, even if they have X Factor available, that don't use it.
Oh, for sure. So it looked like a charge shot. Ooh, landing all 4 particles. Very nice opening round from Beef Robber.
Yeah, that looked like a good one. He has the option of a second X Factor if he wants it.
Is he going a little hybrid strat here? A little Doppler kill on the second round from Beefy.
Yeah, Fat Scott is going for Dopplers, so it doesn't look like he's doing X Factors.
Yeah, but it only has 1 power bomb, so we'll be able to at least hold on to that for now. We had nice Bubble Mountain summits from both of our new route runners, MoQ and Imit. And looks like Fat Scott is going to finish off Fantoon. Very nice. That's 4 Fantoons down for our restream runners here. We'd love to see that.
And Scott had a lot of missiles in his first round Doppler, so he was able to do a pretty easy second round.
For sure. For sure. All right, Wave Beam for Imit, and then it's time for the next big hurdle in Fantoon first. New route. And that is the Lava Dive. Couple different methods available to our runners, though. I feel like any other room in this game, Chavo, it's like there's a main strat and then 3 alternatives and then 100 backups.
Yeah. And one thing that, I and a lot of other people have long maintained is that backup strats are really the key of becoming a top runner in this game. It's like, the choice of strats can often be the difference between a mid-tier runner and a high-tier runner, but the difference between a high-tier runner and a top-tier runner is usually the backups and how well they can adapt to changes in their run.
They've just had so many options for each room in every situation that they've seen before that there's no possibility that they will really be that slowed down if they don't get that optimal strat.
And Imit is going for his Lava Spark now. Doesn't get the short charge, so just abandons it going into the room, avoiding the Namahe flames. And does the gravity jump.
Nice.
Now MoQ is setting up for his Lava Spark.
It's got the shine.
Gets the spark.
Wow.
And he's up.
Huge time save. Definitely hot on Emmett's heels here. I saw him do something interesting. He did a deboost off the Fune, or Fune. I don't know how it's pronounced, but in a previous room in the Remembered Highway. I thought that was very interesting.
Okay, yeah. That is a fairly new strat. I don't remember who came up with that, but yeah, it helps save time through the rest, especially because if you have speed booster, lava kills your speed.
Oh, sure.
So going through there is pretty slow.
That's very interesting. Huh, I never would have thought of that. But fast pillars there from MoQ. Worst room of the game from Imit. Gonna use that power bomb, use iframes on those pirates. Beautiful execution. Just that graceful midair morph over that last pirate. Terrific stuff, but MoQ answering the bell.
Both of them absolutely textbook on worst room in the game.
So Imit at the top of Amphitheater, MoQ shortly behind. Curious if we're going to see like a Firefleet E-Tank or anything. I don't think we will from MoQ. Energy looks pretty good. It'd be a very conservative choice, but yeah, using Shine Sparks to defeat these Red Key Hunters here in the Red Key Hunter shaft. Nicely done.
Both of them had, both of them didn't have anything go wrong in their lava dive, so I wouldn't expect Firefleet E-Tank or anything from them. I don't know if you saw the race last night between, the other qualifier race that the restreamed runners were Professor School and Nevdi.
I heard it was a good old-fashioned slobber knocker, old barn burner, but I have not had a
It
chance to
was a
watch it.
fantastic race, but yeah, they did have some things go wrong, so there were some backups. I don't remember if Fire Fleet E-Tank was grabbed, but certainly some things went wrong, and had to have some unorthodox backups.
For sure. So Beefy summits Mount Everest there, but we did see Shine Spark kills from both MoQ and Imit on the Metal Pirates. Heading into Ridley, resources looking terrific for Imit, carrying 9 supers and 4 power bombs in the fight. That'll allow Imit to do multiple X factors if he wants to against Ridley.
Going for 4.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he gets them. It's a very nice X factors from Imit. MoQ is doing just a straight up beam fight, Ice Wave Spazer.
And a perfectly executed bow twin fight with a decalled X Factor opener from Beefy. Really nicely done, but Imit really impressing here. Definitely playing to try to win this qualifier outright, going for things like that 4X Factor Ridley opener. Just so impressive to see these runners be able to main just some of the hardest strats.
Absolutely. MoQ taking things a little bit safe, making sure that he doesn't take a Ridley tail hit. And the fight is done with Imit.
Wow. Another perfect bow tune there from Fat Scott. Looks like Beefy got a little bit hung up here in the Coliseum. I don't know if it was a quarter or a halfie or a quarter halfie, but didn't quite make it all the way across. But heading into Dragon now, and boy, you want to talk about a fight that can go sideways, Chavo. In any percent, this fight is anything but easy.
Absolutely. Every runner has had things go wrong in Dragon. Fat Scott gets the full halfie.
Nice. Definitely going to save some time catching up to Beefy here. Imit's on the escape. I like this play from MoQ to pick up that Ridley tank. Might enable him.
Yeah, it's a very nice race safety, and it only takes a few seconds.
For sure. It might even enable him to skip the bow to an E-tank entirely, or to pick it up as to be very, very safe against Mother Brain.
True.
Looking for a spark finish here for Beefy on Dragon. Oh, just a hair too high.
Also, hit the goo while running to charge the spark, so that also caused some issues.
For sure. Decent opener from Fat Scott, though. Got him to half health. Yep. And wow. Okay.
Head on Fat Scott's side.
Trying to get that spike suit. Doesn't quite get it. But Imit about to leave. Lower Norfair behind. Just has to get past the 3 Musketeers.
Dragon dead for BF Robber. Was able to get some missiles off of that last goo farm.
Oh, look at that escape from Imit, juking those key hunters, no problem.
Very nice, Imit. And still has 85 health to spare.
Heck, that's 85 too many. My goodness. So with that Ridley fight, Imit has really, really pushed out to a big lead here. This is going to be tough for MoQ to catch up. But it's not impossible, because like we said, that Dragon fight can be incredibly tricky.
BF Rubber did have the Wample jump going through back through Coliseum, but landed on one of the platforms and fell down.
Oh, that's tough. Wample jump is one of the classic strats. I absolutely love it as an alternative to the reverse full halfie with either a blue suit or a spike suit.
Yeah, it's only a couple of seconds slower than a blue suit, but it saves health, which obviously going to lower Norfair afterwards, you want all the health you can get. That's
for darn sure. Lower Norfair, oh so lethal, and look at this from Frobber, set up for Plasma Spark. Oh, doesn't quite get it. That has got to be one of the tightest tricks in the game, is that Plasma Spark. But speaking of Plasma, Fat Scott picking it up. He's got to defeat all of the pink plasma pirates now.
Yep. Jumping on top of the item so that you can shoot straight up to get that pirate.
Oh my gosh. So optimized. I love it.
And then laid a power bomb, which causes the right side wall pirate to jump to the left so that he doesn't need to go to the right side of the room.
That is just too much. So Beefy with a little more less optimized, just kind of going around the room, destroying all the pirates. But Emmett with a textbook Kraid quick kill. No muss, no fuss. Grab that Varia suit. Better than picking up 6 energy tanks. Able to survive Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam on 3 tanks. And yeah, that's going to be Meridia here for MoQ and Emmett, although MoQ is an entire Kraid fight behind now. Emmett just really, really blazing.
Yeah, and some very nice finishing up Meridia for BF Robber and Fat Scott.
Taking some pretty decent resources down to Lower Norfair too, but Fat Scott does have the advantage on health. But
yes, it does.
But I don't want to take anything away from KPDR runners. Lower Norfair is just as lethal, but you do have the benefit of that space jump and that plasma beam, that full beam combination. Once they grab the ice beam here, but there's a lot that can go wrong down there.
Yeah, and even aside from being dangerous, there's just the fact that all the strats are so complex and difficult that it's easy to lose time.
For sure. It's not enough to get killed in this game by all the dangers of the planet Zebes, but what about feeling like you got to reset? But this is a race, Chavo. We can't reset. We got to play it out.
Exactly, which is why, consistency for strats matters as well, because you want to make sure that you can execute everything that you plan on without losing time.
Absolutely. So here
That's got taking a second to farm one of those mini Disquitos for a power bomb. Make sure that he has enough for Lower Norfair.
We wouldn't want any of these runners to have to pick up the power bombs of necessity, as I like to call them.
Yep.
Will we see this from Emmett? Oh, I mean, that was like a baby Yahtzee, so I'll just go Yahtzee. I will not exclaim it as loud as I can. Just bonk just the absolute corner of that little tunnel there, but you know what? In my book, that still counts.
Yeah, very close. And we'll have a chance for MoQ to go for it in just a minute after his Batuan fight.
I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't even see if Beefy or Fat Scott got it.
I saw that they did not.
Okay, I feel a little bit better than Chavo.
Yeah,
thank you.
both of them didn't go for it either. I think they both jumped up to the corner.
Okay, excellent. Look, oh, speaking of chronic, how about the chronic boost? Oh my goodness.
Chronic boost is always fun to watch. You got it. MoQ got it.
Yahtzee! My goodness. So Emmett setting up against Dragon here. Beefy into Lower Norfair. MoQ trying to go for this full halfie. Does have the Shine Spark stored. And Fat Scott allowing Beefy to catch up a little bit. Unable to do fast pillars there.
Yeah, looks like you didn't quite get the short charge. And BF Robber has to take a couple extra tries for his starter opening. But gets the fast pillars in the end.
I like that from Fat Scott too on that last pirate just being like, you know what, I'm just going to blow him away with my plasma beam. Don't even want to mess with him. Now, did Emmett convert that spike suit? It looked like he did. And
I think I saw it, yeah.
The way he's moving, I think he got it. But Beefy got fast pillars.
Oh no!
He
must have got bad frame because he doesn't have the spark.
Bummer. It's so hard. That trick is so darn hard. But this will allow, if MoQ can convert it, he might have a chance to catch up here because we still have a lot. Even though we're going to the last of the G4 bosses. Look at that, 2 in blue from MoQ.
And that is the spike suit.
And gets the good frame. but we still have to contend with Torian and Metroid drops and Baby Skip and Zeb Skip and Mother Brain 1. There's a lot to do still.
Yep. And since he had to do power bomb pillars, Fat Scott had to bomb out the blocks in the Key Hunter shaft, and so BF Robber was able to make up a little bit of time there by using a power bomb.
That was a nice Metal Pirates kill too. I like how with that full beam combination for this old route, you can just kind of trick both of the pirates into becoming vulnerable and blow them away with a single shot at the end there. So we do have Ridley for Fat Scott, though. This is with just this beam combination. This is a 20-shot fight. But with 7 supers on tap, we'll likely see those once Ridley changes color.
Yeah, it's an interesting trade-off there because you do want to conserve ammo for Turian, but at the same time, you may be able to use a little bit of ammo to speed up your Ridley fight. So there is a risk-reward trade-off there.
I don't know if we'll see any super usage from Beefy. Might just finish it off with beams here.
Yeah, Scott didn't use any supers, and he was able to get the quick grab to end the Ridley fight. BF Robber with a slower grab, also not using ammo.
But great resources for Fat Scott, taking full supers into Torian. Beefy just 1 super deficit.
And they're both good on power bombs. That's always something to watch out for leaving Ridley, because if you have 0 or 1, then you need to farm. 2 is minimum, 3 is optimal.
Got it. Yeah, for the wasteland, for everything else. But fortunately, they do give you those enemies that guarantee a power bomb drop, leaving Ridley's lair. But still, it's slower. It's much slower to take the time to farm. Oh, Speedball and Wasteland.
Yeah, Cutie made a farm strat for KPDR maybe a year or 2 ago that only costs like half a second, and it's very good.
Leave it to Cutie. Cutie is just an amazing runner.
Yeah,
always grinding.
Comes up with a lot of strats that they're good for mid-tier runners.
Yeah.
Which, it's nice that, there is a top runner that's not just creating top tier strats.
Like, you have to be at minimum as good as me to do this. Instead, it's like, no, this is Cutie's a man of the people, coming up with egalitarian Super Metroid strats. Amazing.
With a nice grouping on Metroid Room 1.
See how he handles 2. Great resources.
Up to full supers.
You love to see this. Now he can just fly through these last 2 rooms.
Yeah, and he's absolutely full on resources right now. He can do what he wants.
When's the last time you saw something like that, Chabo? I can't tell you the last time I did. Very safe though there, going with the missiles on that last grouping, but carrying full resources into Baby Skip. That's really impressive.
And did the Rinka boost, so they only needed 10 health getting through those hoppers.
Gosh, just how do people come up with this stuff? Just amazing to witness.
Yeah, flying on into the Baby Skip room.
Been a big shakeup in Baby Skip thanks to Stashio Cat's suggestion to, I believe, Eddie. Hey, make it go counterclockwise. And that was a 4 jump from Emmett. I don't think he got grabbed, so he's through.
Yeah, he is ready.
I believe the sweatiest you can do that is with a 3 jump, which we did see from Oats and Goats at GDQ.
Yes, we did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so Motu also gets through the Metroid rooms with full resources.
Really amazing drop luck for these runners, but also they are running 2010, so they do have that extra missile pack, which is very good because running 1510 in a qualifier is kind of not a great idea. If you're going for PBs, it's one thing, but my goodness, if you're trying to make it into a tournament, Stashio skip as well from MoQ. very impressed by this runner. I haven't seen him run very much before today.
Relatively new. I think he only joined the community a year or two ago, and quickly made his way up to have a 42 PB.
All right, so
All right,
Emmett, with this beam combo, how many shots is it going to take, Chavo?
60 for Ice Wave Spazer. So the catch-up beam is going to come out after the 46th shot. So until then, he has to dodge that combination of onion rings, meatballs, and French fries.
And is it true? I remember hearing this a long time ago, Chavo, but the longer the Mother Brain 2 fight takes, the more aggressive she gets in her patterns.
I don't know specifically, but it certainly seems that way.
I believe it.
Yeah, like in our KPDR fights, which we're gonna see later, she barely has time to get going before the fight's done. So, it's like 11 or 12 shots that you can get in before she even launches her first attack, and then the catch-up starts after 16, and then it's done after 20. But meanwhile, in our PRKD fights, it's I don't remember how many, probably still about 10 or 11 shots that you can get in before she starts. But then you still have a long ways to go before you hit the end of the fight, which Emmett has done now.
Yeah, we saw a shake of the head there from Emmett. I think he might not be really happy with this run, but we're happy with it, Chavo, because he survived and is going to finish with a really great time. But,
yeah, it's a very, very entertaining run, and he's done well with it. Motu is now into his catch-up phase as Fat Scott is entering Metroid Room 1.
Fat Scott's hauling through Metroid Room 1.
Practically doing hundo strats.
I know.
I think he is mainly a 100% runner, so that that could be a conscious decision that he just prefers to do those strats.
No question. But Frobber really catching up here, not far behind at all, maybe half a Metroid room.
Yeah, full resources going into room 4 for BF Rubber. Fat Scott leaving room 4 with full resources. Motu is done with his Mother Brain 2.
And it's almost at the end of this baby cutscene, but we do have our KPDR runners setting up for baby skip. I'm not sure if they utilize the Pistachio skip. I'm curious to see what we're gonna.
Since both of them are on the right side of the screen, it seems likely they're doing the traditional counterclockwise skip.
Looks like that from Fat Scott. He's got the jump rope going. He's cleared away all that moss. Through the door. Beautiful job from Fat Scott.
BF Rubber setting up for his, getting those last few jumps.
Oh!
And he gets grabbed. Unfortunate.
At the very last second. That's so tough.
Only a few seconds behind. This is going to cost him something like 20 seconds because he'll need to refill before he can move on.
That is
Plus,
so
wait for
tough
the end of this baby cutscene.
They can miss it by. It can be that close. But Emmett, no problem with that Mother Brain 3 fight. Just annihilating Mother Brain with that hyper beam. On to the escape now.
Yep, right as Motu is starting his Mother Brain 3. So now Emmett sparking up room 3, getting iframes so that you can wall jump through the first barrier in room 4.
That is just brilliant. And look at that.
Going for his final moonfall.
There it
final
is.
Moonfall to run. Saves about 1.5 seconds for this one.
Skip, no problem for Beef Robber, but Fat Scott into Mother Brain 2, showing off the utility of that beam combination. And look at this from Emmett. Very, very close to a 42 here, but having a little bit of trouble in the parlor here. Just wants to finish it off.
Yep, Fat Scott is done with his Mother Brain 2 fight as BF Robert just starts his.
All right, that'll do it for Emmett, finishing with an official race time and coming in 4th place in this 3rd qualifying race with a time of 43 minutes and 8 seconds. GG's to Emmett.
GG Emmett. Right as Motu is entering the climb and sparking up.
Yeah, I gotta say, like I said, Chab, I can't state it enough. I'm really impressed by this runner. Finishing with a mid 43 against some really tough competition, not only on this restream but in the 29-person qualifier itself.
Yeah, absolutely. GG to Motu. And BF Robber has now finished his Mother Brain 2 fight, so all of our runners are essentially home free now.
The
on this restream.
Moku finishing with an official race time of 43:53. Nicely done. But we still got 2 more, Chabo, and they are going to finish. They made it to the baby cutscene.
Yes, we are. And even with the missed baby step from BF Robber, still not that much of a difference between him and Fat Scott.
No, not at all. I believe it's 36 hyper beam shots here for Mother Brain 3.
I think you're right.
Fat Scott's showing that shooting rhythm, trying to keep Mother Brain kind of pinned in the corner, attacking as little as possible, or letting her attack as little as possible. So really nice Mother Brain 3. Mother Brain, people sleep on Mother Brain 3. It could be a pretty tough fight. Or you could do what I always did, Chabo, and just sit in the corner and just angle up and just hold the fire button down.
Yep, that does work pretty well. That is a common strat that we recommend to beginners because it does work pretty well. But at the higher level, it causes too much lag, so we like to reduce that as much as possible by getting close, not letting that shot stay on screen for too long.
There's always a better way, isn't there? Always a better way.
Fat Scott having a little bit of trouble going up escape room 4 and missing the moonfall, unfortunately.
But fortunately didn't fall all the way to the bottom. Was able to kind of catch himself on those platforms. Let's finish it off with a Behemoth Spark. Into the parlor now. Really clean movement here from Fat Scott, bringing it on home.
No steam. GG to Fat Scott.
GG's to Fat Scott, finishing with an official race time and coming in 12th place with a 46:29.
BF Rubber getting that moonfall, but then falling on his way back up.
We're gonna nail this Behemoth Spark up the climb here, Chavo.
Yes,
into the parlor. Bringing it home is Frobber. Look at those. Look at that movement through the parlor.
Nice mock ball on the mound.
That's so
the steam bouncing him up.
Wow. No steam either, it looked like.
He got hit once in landing site, but finishes very nicely.
Yeah, Beevy's going to finish in 13th place with an official race time of 47:13. So GG's to all the runners. We still have, let's see, 2, 4, 6 competitors. We've had 15 finishes. Coming in first place with a blistering 41:20 is Oats and Goats. Perhaps you've heard of him. And not far behind with a 42:04 is Zost. Perhaps you've heard of him too. And then with a very nice 42:40 is Eddie. Nicely done, everybody. We also see Lynx and Scotty and a couple other runners there in the top 10. So GG's to everybody, and good luck, have fun to those that are still racing, trying to finish this out. So we will see if the runners can join us for a brief post-race interview. We'll see if we can get them some Discord invites. And if you like what you've seen here, there's going to be plenty more qualifier action coming up on various Speed Gaming channels. And we also encourage you to give the runners a follow if you like what you've seen from their personal performance in this qualifier. You can also choose to follow Chabo and myself if you want to, if you like what you've heard. I think Fat Scott was extremely close to a PB there. Chabo, just going by what I saw in the race time room.
Yeah, I know he has a 46, so let me look up real quick what his actual PB is, because that is pretty close either way.
And there's the schedule for the bracket, as well as the Discord and schedule. If you're interested in seeing more Speed Gaming Live 2024 Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament action.
Fat Scott's listed PB is, yeah, we're joined by Fat Scott. So your listed PB on speedrun.com is a 46:45. So was this a 20-second PB in a race?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Oh, GG's.
That is amazing. GG on that.
A race PB in this qualifier. Amazing.
My PB run is pretty old, granted, in comparison to what I've been doing. But I've been doing a lot of practice, and I've been playing pretty consistently. Like, even in practice runs and things I've been doing, I've been finishing within, like, 20 seconds of my old PB for the most part. So I figured it was only a matter of time before I could get a PB. But I wasn't expecting to this race necessarily. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that is amazing. Not often that we see that.
Yeah, that was terrific. Amazing run, Fat Scott. It was really entertaining to watch. I loved having 2 KPDRs and 2 PRKDs on the restream. It just really allowed us to highlight the differences and the different flavor that each route happens to bring. But I also have a really soft spot for KPDR.
I'm like in a mixed. I have like a mixed feelings about KPDR at the moment because I've been running so much 100% before this that like I had to like train myself how to run KPDR again after running Hundo for nearly a year. And there are some segments of the run I do like, but there are also a few segments that just feel not as fun to me as KPDR. So I'm like, I think what I'm currently planning to do is at least try and get a 45 with KPDR, and then for the purposes of whatever I do in this turn, I'll probably stick with it. But afterward, I'm thinking I want to learn a new route at some point soon. So
Well, that'd be cool to see. One thing I did wonder is saw at the very least in Metroid Room 1 that you're basically going full hundo. So wondering if that's like your normal KPDR, or if that was just like hundo muscle memory.
so what I came up with in that room specifically is I do my hundo strat, except at the end, if I'm like not worried about losing that super, I will do pretty much the entire strat this way I normally do, except I'll jump to collect the drops before heading towards the door, and it's like 30-ish frames slower than if I were to just gun it, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And inside of Metro Run 2, I thought about doing. I've been practicing the strat where you like morph when you go into the room and then kind of kill the Metroids by the door. But I figured here I would just do what I knew since I was on PV pace and I didn't want to mess anything up in Torian. So, otherwise Torian was pretty good for the most part. There was just a little mistake in Leodoc's room, but other than that, this run was not bad. I'd say there's definitely a lot of room for improvement for me, but it was pretty good. otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, PB by 20 seconds is pretty substantial.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Fat Scott, we thank you very much for participating, and we look forward to seeing you in future qualifiers, and hopefully you can make the main bracket.
Thank you, and thank you for commentating, and GG to everyone else who raced today too. This was there are a lot of people here, a lot of people I haven't seen speedrun in a while even. So I was pretty happy to see this qualifier have so many entrants.
No, for sure, Fat Scott, for sure. Some people coming out of semi-retirement or full retirement to participate in this, so it's very wonderful to see. Yeah, I've always said Super Metroid speedrun community is the best there is, and one of the reasons is because of amazing runners like Fat Scott, MoQ, Beefrobber, and Emmett, as well as everybody else in this 29 entrant qualifier 3. But I think that's going to do it for us here. Chabo, you want to take us out?
Yeah, not sure I have anything else. Very nice to be here. Thank you for hosting with me, Hottie, and see you all next mission.